Hi guys, welcome back. Today is episode 8 of my Pocket Page Disney album, and I believe I have two more episodes after this of the Pocket Pages, and then I'll be moving on to the larger format pages. I have some 12 by 12, some 6 by 8, and some different sizes that I'll be sharing with you in those videos after the next two Pocket Pages. But today I am going to be working on about three layouts, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. It could be more. But right now I am just trying to struggle with this border. I don't want to pull the whole sticker off the sheet, but I just want to cut just enough for this page. So I'm trying super hard. I don't know. I think sometimes I like to do things harder than easier. I don't know. Who knows? But that's what I was trying to do. So I did get that border finally off, and then I added the Dreams tab there. And I'd already mounted that photo of my daughter there that I'm messing with right now. I just mounted it on white cardstock. I wanted to have it pop off that chevron page. So now I'm just going to do a cluster of stickers here. I am going to pop up this little teacup on some foam, and I didn't like how it was setting on the page, so I do end up sticking it down on some white cardstock and then trimming it out to kind of give it a border just like I had my photo. I just thought it looked better. And it seemed to pop off the page a bit better. So I'm going to stick that popcorn down. I'm going to add some foam to the back of the little teacup, and then I'm going to stick that down. And then I also am going to put a balloons sticker there here in just a couple minutes once I get this glued down. Now I do use the craft foam. I've seen people using the sticky part of the craft foam on the one side and then just adding the glue to the other. But I have a lot of that foam that the sticky has gotten really dried up and weird. So I just always recommend that people use some extra adhesive on both sides, even if it is sticky on the one, because I've had some of that foam just dry up on me. And you don't want your embellishments falling down on your pages. So that's just a tip. I think it may depend on the climate or the weather where you live. But I've just had some of my sheets just go completely dry and it's no longer sticky anymore. So I thought this was looking a little bland over here on the left hand side. So I took some of my polka dot black and white washi tape, tore it down the center, and then I added that in two places. Here, I just really like the texture of the torn washi sometimes. You can use it, obviously without tearing it, but I do like the kind of, you know, uneven edge that it gives. I just like how that looks. And I thought that balanced that nicely. The other photos are kind of dark, and I thought it just needed a little something on that photo. So now I'm going through my other embellishments, my sticker sheets and things like that, and I'm going to make a cluster down here at the bottom. I apologize, it's a little bit towards the bottom of the screen. I think I might go off screen just a little bit, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to take this frame, it's a chipboard frame, and then I'm going to layer some of the stickers on it and then add that to the bottom there. So I have this We Are Here sticker, and I'm going to put some foam, and then I also add this ticket, and then I'm going to glue this all down to the bottom, and then I'm going to trim off the bottom of the chipboard frame. And I just really like how that looked. It was a little bit blank in the bottom of that part of the photo, so I thought it looked really nice there. And then I'm going to add a little washi tape. I found that when I trimmed off that bottom of the chipboard frame, it just looked a little funny. So I'm going to take that same polka dot black and white tape that I used earlier with the top right photo, and I'm going to add a little bit of that on the bottom. Sorry if you could hear my dog there. He decided he was going to bark at one of the kitty cats. So I had to pause the video, put it back in his place, and hopefully he won't bark the rest of the video. So now here's where I'm adding that black and white washi tape that I was telling you about. I'm just going to add it here in the bottom corner, and I did tear that as well, so I had that same kind of uneven edge. So I did some sewing on this card. I ended up adding a little bit of sewing on the Happiness Starts Here card, and I think that's all I did on that one as far as sewing. So here's the back side of that page I was just working on, and that strip there that I was messing with at the very beginning is some stickers that we got. We went to the, what's it called? Primetime Cafe, I think it is, in Disney, or maybe it's Universal. No, not Universal. Where were we at? Hollywood Studios. And because we ate all our food, we got Clean Plate Club stickers. And I wanted to make sure I used those on my pages because they were cute and I didn't have another place for them. So I thought it was a good place to add these embellishments because these are photos taken in that area. So I just cut down those photos a little bit. I thought they were a little too big for that strip. And then I mounted them on white cardstock to also make them pop like I did on the previous page. And then that Clean Plate Club sticker strip, I'm just keeping the stickers on the strip that they came with so that they glue down really nicely. So now here, I'm a little off screen. I apologize for that, but I am trying to mess with that star, and I'm trying to get it right where I want it in the middle, and it's giving me grief. So if you ever have problems with a little piece of paper that you're trying to punch, just stick it on a little handle like a piece of paper, and then that will really help you guide that in, and you won't have to fight with the punch so much. So I did that with this star here, and I'm just gluing it down on the side edge of this dessert my daughter I think got, and I'm just going to trim off the excess. And that photo of the dessert is a little blurry, but it was kind of dark in the diner, but I thought it was okay anyway. I thought it was cute that it had all that sprinkles on it. So now I'm just going to add some word strips here and there that go along with the photos for the day. And then I will work on gluing everything down on the left-hand side. And I am going to make another cluster there in the bottom left. I have that tag, but I don't really like that tag, and I'm going to look at this piece too. I can't remember. I don't think I end up using that piece either. I am going to put something else there. It just didn't seem to fit. I don't know, it's just too dark there. So I do end up using this little, I don't know what those things are called, the little movie thing, and I thought it was cute. I am going to write a little bit about our little dinner here. And I have that date, time, and place already on the chipboard. I'm just going to use a red Sharpie marker to add some details about the day or this particular dinner once I get these photos down. So here you can see that those stickers are still just on the backing strip, and I just kept them like that. So once I glue this down, I'm going to add the journaling. And it's real brief. There's not very much room on that chipboard piece, but that's perfect. And then I am going to take some gold stars and I'm going to add them around the page just in a couple places. And then I'm going to add a stamp. I really wanted to have a stamp in the bottom right photo. So I'm going to stamp this on some white cardstock with some Stampin' Up! Red ink. And then I'm just going to use my black marker to check the boxes, which is lunch and quality time. And I'm going to trim that out and then glue that down. And this Stampin' Up! Ink on this cardstock I'm using is rather wet, so I try to be very careful that I don't smudge the ink. I found that the Stampin' Up! Ink on the Recollections white cardstock, it just doesn't dry very well. So a lot of times I end up using my heat tool to dry it so that it stays, because it seems like it stays wet for an awful long time. So now I've moved on to the next page. This is when we saw Doc McStuffins and, oh, what's her name? Oh, Princess Sophia. It's been a long time. My daughter hasn't watched these shows in quite some time. But I really like these characters. I thought they were pretty cute, and Shelby had a really good time at this particular little event where she met these guys. So I'm just going to take some of my border punches. I don't use those enough, and I really wanted to pull out this Fisker's punch that kind of looks like a bracket. And I'm going to kind of layer the pieces here. I'm going to use this red piece, and then I really like the piece that was left over after I punched the red piece. So I'm going to add that yellow piece on top of it, and I just think that gives it kind of a fun, interesting look, and it uses up my scraps. I'm just going to use my fine liner bottle, and then I'm going to glue that down using my tweezers, I believe, to get it in the right spot because it's such a thin piece. And then I am going to add another embellishment up there in the left-hand corner too here in a little bit. Going through my sticker sheets again, just trying to figure out kind of what needs to go on this page. And I am going to trim this out because I want to kind of audition it first before I decide. And then I do like how it looks, but what I thought would be fun is if I did some corner rounding of the little sticker. So you're going to see I'll pull out my corner rounder here in a second and then corner around the edges. And then I decided I wanted it mounted on some white cardstock as well. It just felt like it was kind of getting lost on the page, and you'll see me do that here in a second. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. I've gotten a lot of great comments. Thank you guys so much for kind of coming along with me on this journey. If you have any questions about anything I use on any of the pages or anything like that, make sure you leave those below. If you are enjoying the series or you want to see more of the series, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you hit the little bell on the subscription section or area, that will also let you know when I have a new video posted. I have, like I said, 2 more videos after this of the pocket pages, and then some of the more traditional or the, regular non-pocket page layouts coming up next. So if you want to make sure you know when those are coming up, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe. So now I'm going to work on this bottom left photo of a doc mix stuff ins, and I want to have a little shelf for my embellishments to sit on. So I'm just using this scrap piece of paper that is the black, or sorry, the brown and polka dot paper. And then I'm going to add this magic die cut. And again, I'm going to take that same corner rounder and I'm going to corner round just the top 2 corners. And then I'm going to end up sewing this down here in a little bit. And again, just trying to mimic the other things. And I did use the 4th inch side because I wanted a smaller corner. I didn't want a very wide corner. So I'm just gluing this down. Oh, and I put glue in the wrong spot because I knew I was going to sew and I didn't want my sewing needle to be going through that. And I'm going to be sewing towards the bottom. So I end up moving that adhesive. So there I have sewn it down. You can just see that black stitch. It's pretty simple, nothing too exciting. You can see my string did get a little crazy, so I'm just going to tack that down with some extra washi tape here. It was unhappy. I think it might have gotten some of that sticky on there. I was trying to keep from it getting on there. So now I'm just going to glue this little frame down. And then I have another one of those little movie things, little die cuts, and I'm just going to pop that up because the chipboard frame is dimensional. So I had to put a little foam behind the movie board so that it lays nicely on the card. Next, I am looking to add a little strip. I'm going to add this yellow strip here. I like how that is, and I didn't really want the phrase that was on the frame to show, so I ended up adding the strip on top of that. So that's just something else to keep in mind. Just because something says something you don't like or it doesn't really fit with the occasion doesn't mean you can't use it. You can just cover it up, add something else, do some decorative over it, and so that way you can use it with something that you may not have thought you could use it with. Now I'm going to be working on this other little frame here, and I am going to turn it into a shaker if I'm remembering correctly. I think. I am going to turn one of these into a shaker at some point. I can't remember if it was this one or not now. Oh no, this one I'm actually making into a journaling spot. So I'm just tracing it so that I know where to write my journaling, and I'm just going to do tiny little journaling in here, and then I'll glue this to the back of the frame, and then that will just be added on to the page. So here, I'm going to show you here in a second, I made a boo-boo on here, and what I like to do is use my white gel pen. This is just a jelly roll pen, and I'll kind of use it as whiteout when I don't have whiteout around me, and then I just kind of dab that on, and then I can write over it. It's not perfect, but in a pinch when you don't have a lot of things with you as far as like whiteout, it works really well. So I did that. I'm going to underline my journaling, and then I'm going to trim this out and then glue this to the page. I can't remember, maybe I do a shaker little frame in, maybe it's not in this video, but I do it in one of the next 2 videos, if not in this one, with some sequins and things and some page protector. So I really like how this page turned out. I thought it turned out nicely. I'm going to look through some of my stickers and see if there's anything else I want to add. And I think the last thing I do is just this where it says one more day, I think. No, one more ride. Now I just like the black anchoring that there. Now I have the picture of my daughter. I do add a little bit more. Picture of my daughter, and I forgot I added one of these labels. I'm going to add this word strip, cut it in half, and then add those word strips to the little label here and add it in this photo. Again, some of these photos are a little dark, and I wanted to brighten it up, and I thought this yellow Real Magic sticker kind of brightened that corner up. So that's pretty much it for this layout. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, leave them below and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a great day, and thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.